Carlton goes up with Alessio, who's got a big job to do tonight. First touch to Simons, can't break the tackle. Blues in hard as you'd expect. Brown on the bottom of one pack. It'll be a ball up. And we'll start it again. Fletcher and Manton together by the look of it.
There's been some spiteful games between these two clubs over the years, Bruce, and expect this to continue, the spirited opening to continue for quite a while.
Kutafides loose across half-back as they're setting themselves up. Allen drops it down. Mercedes' hands were good. Simons had it cut off. It was good play by Hamill, who was coming forward. Out wide to Jukovic, who's promising. Kicks to fall forward. Lloyd goes under. No free kick. Ball goes to the pocket. Sexton rolls it out, as he's done so often in the past, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Yes, Michael Sexton, I think the Blues followers will be happy to see him on the ground and looking reasonably fit early in the season. He suffered a few problems last year. Looks as though he may have Lucas early in the game. Lucas to do the ruck work. Up against Matthew Allen in the right forward pocket for the Bombers. Allen to do the tackling. It comes away to Kutafides. Murphy back to Kutafides. He's caught in the left back pocket. Towards Hamill. He's bumped off the football by Lalish. Simons has been pretty good. Handball to Mercedes. He's dispossessed. Through comes Barry Young. Bustling Barry in towards full forward. Lloyd couldn't take the mark. Good hustling tactics by Beaumont. Back goes Allen in towards the middle of the ground. Punched away from Simons. Gathered by Murphy. Brilliantly intercepted by Alessio. Mercury the first real chance. And Mercury the first goal of 1999. Terrific football and brilliant handling under extreme pressure. Alessio was a key player in that passage of football by the Bombers.
Certainly has been an exciting start by the Bombers, Robbo. Now, interesting to note when the ball does enter the Essendon forward line, they've got 2 or 3 sweepers. Michael Simons, also Mark Johnson, just sitting back across the centre, looking to form a wall and just rebound it straight back in.
Mercury with the honour of kicking the first goal in the season. A class act. Camporelli going forward for the Blues. And Young over the top. So Lloyd having a really slow start here.
It has been difficult, Bruce, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to use his speed. He's had to prop for just about every kick that's gone in his direction so far.
Long just working it in front. Allen tucks it under. Did get a handball away. Handball back by Jukovic, okay. Mercedes on the upwards, pretty good. Lucas trying to find a way. Mercury also clever. Gets around, bounce, kick a goal here. 45 out. Wonderful, magnificent. Oh, what about that one? Turned them inside out, kept his cool, bounced the footy, squeezed up and delivered.
That's an incredible piece of football. He had them absolutely mesmerised. Just having a look here. He'll receive the handball, and he looks like he has absolutely nowhere to go. He does almost a complete 360, has a bounce, and he kicks it with his instep, which almost makes the ball bend back towards the goals.
Class.
Oh, he's a good goal kicker, isn't he, Mark Mercury? He's kicked his second for the Bombers and wrenched away the lead from the Blues. Bradley, 4 points right now. Fantastic crowd for Thursday night. Season opener. Fraser goes for goal from 35. And he's put it through. Second goal to Fraser. 2 goals to Mercury. Whitnell has kicked 2 for the Blues.
It's a very crucial goal that for Essendon. I mean, Carlton have had a lot of the ball down in their forward line. Haven't been able to convert. All of a sudden, up it comes the other end. Now Fraser ran beautifully from half-back wing. He created space. James Hurd spotted him a little bit late, but still had the presence of mind to deliver the ball perfectly. And a good finish from Fraser.
Just a slight hold up here. 13 possessions for Fraser and 2 goals. It's been a surprise packet in this opening half. And the Bombers with a little break now. 5-3, 37-27. I think they were lucky to be so close at quarter time, but 2 great rivals with a wonderful tradition. They've played some great matches over the years. Murphy's free kick. Ratton kicks to half forward. Front spot is Whitnell. Ball to ground. Well done, Bradley. Very well done. Gets it out to Backnell. Backnell's long handball. Whitnell, oh, he rode it beautifully. Left foot floating into a space at centre half forward. Bombers first to get there. They just push out. Was it
too high on Carosella?
Yep. Free kick. Advantage given. Bombers away at half-back. Barry Young, gee, if he gets caught here. No, he won't.
Bounce it.
How far? Lalich has got it. Quick hands to Blumfield. They've had the first goal in each of the quarters. The Bombers heard. He's got it. Got rid of Beaumont. Lucas goes. The Bombers are 3 in front.
And that's where it's difficult, Bruce. I mean, we've seen contact in marking contests less severe than what James Hird then did on Simon Beaumont, and yet that one was allowed to continue and James Hird gold. So here we see the Barry Young running through the centre, gets the handball off, and then the kick will eventually come into James Hird, and we'll see him get rid of Simon Beaumont, hopefully in the bottom of the... no, it was a bit earlier than that, and handball off, and the goal results.
Gee, he did it with a lot of poise, didn't he, James Hird, and then unselfishly gave the goal to Scott Lucas. Lucas has kicked 2, along with Fraser and Mercury. 8-9 to 5-12. Big battle for the Blues. They've only managed to kick a goal in each of the second and third quarters, and they're going to be a struggle again from here because Alessio kicks the Bombers forward. Hird, dispossessed by Beaumont. Ball spills. Simons. Hird will kick a goal, surely. No, not far enough. Mark taken by Beaumont. He's been disciplined back there for the Blues. Kicks it out wide to Murphy. Murphy's hand pass will find Rice. He can line up, kick the ball very, very wide, and the mark is taken out there by Franchina. He swings around onto the right. Kicks in towards centre half forward proper. No mark taken. Johnson tries to knock it clear for Carosella, held in by Koutafidis. He applies the tackle on Wallace. Masidi there to gather. Johnson, who's looked quite composed for a first gamer, kicks it out to Buick, knocked away by Rice. Kick forward then by Franchina into the pocket. No mark taken. Johnson again. He's done very well. A free kick against Bradley. Maybe the advantage with Essendon? No, it's got to come back.
Too much of a delay, Robbo, so the ball will come back.
15 points the advantage. So Carlton, who've only managed to kick a goal in the second term and 1 goal in the third term, need to outscore Essendon by 3 goals in the remainder of this third quarter. Thompson is onto the ground for the Blues. The kick to Koutafidis. Skillfully, but he allows it for his mate, Christou, to kick it in towards full forward. The ball at the back wall. Fletcher rather, dispossessed. Silvani's there to kick a goal, and he hasn't quite done that. Just a behind to the Blues when they badly needed a goal, and their bench warmers so far, Dipper.
Yes, Robbo. Matthew Lappin, Fraser Brown, obviously injured to hamstring, Glenn Manson and Adam White.
So that's the setup for the Blues, with Manson maybe a key player to come on. Silvani disappointed there.
Would have been the perfect answer to James Hird's performance at the other end of the ground.
Fletcher, normally a long kick, doesn't quite get onto it, but does roost it a long, long way. Alessio, outpointed early by Allen. Ratton, ridden into the ground. Be a ball up in the heart of the centre square, with the Blues trailing now by the biggest margin in the match.
Did some good hard work there, Brett Ratton, just to hold up Steve Alessio.
The Essendon bench is certainly working on their players down here. Michael Long, Damien Hardwick and McVeigh, but they want these players back on there. They're getting their legs rubbed for the last quarter.
Franchina, Christou wide, Silvani on the lead, waited for it. Fletcher did well, belted it away. Back with those fresh young legs. After him is Carosella. Carosella read it a bit better, then manages to squeeze a kick only as far as Murphy. And Murphy has had so much of the footy.
32 touches, Bruce.
32 into Franchina. Franchina conceding ground to Rice. Rice forced to concede more ground. Important here. Sexton stretches, gets it, and delivers cleverly to Whitnell. Too far out to goal, you'd think. Allen provides a lead. So does Silvani. Is it in the pocket? No, it's Christou. Free kick.
Gee, that's an ordinary free kick
White,
again.
I should say, sorry.
Again paid in the marking contest, and it's very difficult to maintain consistency when you're paying those. So,
Bruce, I think D'Urlio was on the bench with Lappin.
Thanks, mate. So that was Adam White a moment ago. Wallace gets it in short.
14 points the margin. It is feasible. At the Blues, they really have struggled. as far as goal kicking is concerned. They've had quite a bit of the football, and they've had a fair bit of the footy within scoring distance. Johnson just a little indecisive, then goes nicely and finds Berbakoff. He's still behind the wing. Forced to kick high, bit of a wobbly old punt kick in towards half forward. No mark taken. Terrific handball by Carosella for Heffernan, and Heffernan finishes off. It could be the start of the death knell. It was a good, clever little kick, wasn't it? He didn't try to do too much with it. He had the opportunity, and he capitalised.
Very slick handball, Robbo. It was a very nondescript kick. Went to the contest. Terrific quick hands, and I like the way he just steadied. He didn't try and run too fast. He didn't try and run away from anyone. He took his time. He settled, and he kicked the goal.
Hard to catch now, the Bombers. 9-9 to 5-13, 20-point margin. And where's Carlton going to get his goals from? They have really struggled since quarter time. Masidi, Carosella's hands were terrific a moment ago. To centre half forward, Sexton works in front of Lucas to take it. Pushes wide, Murphy yet again. To centre wing to Franchina. Good take in front of his face. Rice asking him to push it on. McKay working for him. Franchina brings it back to centre. Oh, Bradley dropped it. Was going to give away the handball. Now balances up. High ball. Difficult one. Can Silvani get into the contest? He does. He worked his way in there, didn't he? And made it. And this is a huge kick.
Well, if he misses this, you'd probably think that Essendon will get home. If Carlton are going to be a chance, they've got to get some momentum. And this is a tough kick. He's going to be kicking from basically right on 50. He did a terrific job to get to the front of the pack. Fletcher just couldn't get in there with his long hands, but it is a crucial kick.
Missed it. He's hooked it badly. Silvani going for distance. Hasn't quite made it. Will they run it over? Yes, you could.
And that's how we like to see the backman kick the ball for goal, Bruce.
A bit of a hook. Keep those full forwards a very exclusive club. 9-9 to 5-14, so 18 shots to 19, but it's Essendon with a pretty handy lead.
They've had a couple of polished performances in Mercury as a goal kicker and Mark Fraser, both who've kicked 2 goals. Masidi dispossessed. Chance here. White, Koutafidis, maybe Silvani will kick this one. He won in the centre by Heffernan for the Bombers. Goes straight towards goal in the direction of Hurd. Could have been a free kick. Off the ground by Lloyd. He's got a goal. Quick answer for Essendon. Lloyd second. Hasn't had a lot of the footy, just 7 kicks. Not much early, and 2 goals against his name.
Robbo, we spoke about making the most of your opportunities. The ball fell down. He tried to pick it up once. He didn't get it cleanly, so he just threw a boot at it, and it wobbled through. And those sort of opportunities, you don't get too many of them. That's very, very crucial.
Gee, Beaumont, he just couldn't get a handle on it, could he? You filled for him. He's had a good night. Suddenly Lloyd gets the Silvani goal back, and the Bombers maintain a good edge. But we've had 3 goals in a few minutes. They've been hard to get tonight. Maybe it'll open up a bit as the players get tighter and the Blues can still get back into this. Christou, Simons, they both go to ground. Mercury, they want to free kick the Bombers, not coming. I think Koutafidis is coming off, which is interesting, and Manton coming on. A reasonable night. There's a couple of good players for their respective teams tonight. Koutafidis, 17 possessions going from the ground. Mercury, McKay, Franchina, Lucas with him. Lucas to ground. Hard ball to get. Bombers won't be disappointed if there's a few contests like that in the next few minutes.
They're going to get tired, aren't they? The first up after a long spell. They played a lot of Ansett Cup games and practice matches, but they've got to get tired, and to make up 19 points in the last 13 minutes is going to be very difficult for Carlton.
Lucas and Sexton laid down. Camporelli, well done. Ratton, well done again. They just haven't been able to get it with the man moving forward. And Masidi mopped up, and Jukovic gets through McKay. Not easy to do, and then kicks the ball long and hard. Allen held his ground. Buick, so good. Beautiful finisher. measures, misses, pushed it to the right. And still Carlton breathed because Buick didn't quite finish them off.
James Hird screaming for it in the middle too, but Buick backed himself. He normally kicks those.
Murphy to kick in for the Blues. Comes to the members' side. Rice still well inside his defensive 50. Just no one really to kick to. He goes, oh, there's a risk. Oh, big risk. The ball spills to the back of the pack. Just taken to the ground there was Sexton. Comes back to Lucas, smothered off the boot. Back to Mercury.
Great vision.
Oh, yeah, terrific kick. Buick will kick this, won't he? Mop it up, Darren Buick. Well done by Buick. He had a chance a moment ago and muffed it.
Robbo, you can see class a mile off. You can see it really sticks out. Players that just have the perception of the game, they have the vision to quickly change direction. It was only a split-second thing, and he's all on his own. An easy goal to Essendon. That probably, well, almost makes it safe for Essendon.
He's a good finisher, isn't he, Darren Buick? He's been like that for a long time now.
Celebrating in the stands now, the Bomber fans. 11 goals to 6. Carlton have got to get the next one in a real hurry, and then a couple after it. Bradley pushes forward. Barry Young's been dashing from the back line, long on the end of it. Didn't make his debut last year until round 12. We've seen him in the first round tonight do pretty well. Not sure if it touched the ground, but Buick's claiming it anyway. Smother by Rice was good. Christou chases hard. Back to Rice. Rice under pressure. It was a terrific tackle. It was a poor handle by Christou.
Oh, yeah. Signal given for over the shoulder, Jace.
Rice has kicked a bit too far, but Giulio's onto it now. Roddy runs to 50, kicks to Silvani, got him. So Silvani in the pocket. He's given them something, Jason. This will be. We see Barry Young in a bit of trouble.
There's a few players at the moment, Bruce. Essendon players are going now with cramp, as Robbo said. The boys are getting tired now.
This will be his 4th shot for goal, Silvani.
He's got to kick it.
Not easy. Missed it. It's a behind. But certainly he's given them something to go for. Is that Johnson?
Yep.
Some pain, isn't he? Have a look at him. And Barry Young, so as Dipper said, they're down. They're certainly not out the Bombers. They lead 76 to 51.
That's too big a margin, I think, 25 points. We've got 11 minutes left in the game, and they've got control of the footy. It's Berbatov very wide between right half back and right centre wing.
It's exactly the margin. There's Johnson. Exactly the margin that Carlton led by last year when the Bombers kicked their last 5 goals of the match to beat them.
Gee, there was a big leap and attempted mark there. May have been by Simon Beaumont, as we see Sexton cramping up. So players on both sides. Sexton, it's only the cramp, but gee whiz, it's certainly painful. And late in the game with a player lying just flat on his back, it's not good. Heffernan's kick towards the full forward area. Beaumont's infringed against Lloyd, I would think.
Now, the contact the umpires will allow in the marking contest is incidental contact, as long as you can say Beaumont's going for the ball, and the umpire obviously considered that was over the shoulder and not incidental contact.
Richard Williams on that occasion just started banging his right buttock with his fist as if Beaumont had bumped him out of the road before the ball got there.
And I would say that was certainly incidental contact and should not have been rewarded with a free kick.
Well, Lloyd with 2 goals can become the leading goal kicker on the ground. Lovely kick. It's a beautiful kick by Lloyd. 3 goals against his name after a quiet start has been quite fruitful.
Well, it has. It's been a very difficult game for Matty Lloyd. He didn't get many opportunities early, but all of a sudden, Robbo, you end up with 3 or 4 goals to your name in a tight match like this. You've got to say he's done his job. I still think it was a very soft free kick.
Oh, incredibly soft, Chase. I mean, the only thing he was trying to do was get to the footy, and did that very, very well, and yet was still penalised for it.
Can breathe a bit easier now, Kevin Sheedy, because the Bombers have blown it apart here. Sexton with the cramp off. Lloyd gets his 3rd. Another goal from a free kick. It's going to be a talking point, I think, the umpiring and their interpretation after tonight. There's been so many soft free kicks given in vital positions on the ground.
Against Murphy here for holding on.
It's fallen apart now for the Blues late in this match. It's going to come back, I think.
50-metre penalty, Bruce. Not sure what for, but that's certainly what's going to result from it. Murphy querying the umpire and asking the question, but once he's paid it, obviously he's not going to change his mind.
Chris Mitchell letting Justin Murphy know why. Well, I think we've had 5, maybe 6 goals from direct free kicks tonight, and this could be another one. Berbatov directly in front. Be able to follow it through. Straight kick, good one. Another one. Gee, the Bombers are blowing it away now. They're actually going to get a fair bit of percentage out of this low-scoring game to start the season.
It's been a tight struggle for 3.5 quarters, and it really looks like Essendon are going to break the shackles. They're building a very comfortable lead, and I think the most important thing for David Parkin's boys now is they've got to hang tough, they've got to finish with a couple of goals and make it as tight as they can.
Well, it was a good kick by Peter Berbatov, his first goal. So Barry Young and Mark Johnson there, both suffering, we think, from cramp, having a spell, and you would expect them maybe to stay off the ground now. Just under 10 minutes left. Ratton gets the ball away for the Blues. Jukovic knocked away by Simons to Jukovic. Dispossessed.
1,501. It's a great turn-up. It looks like it looks as if it was more, to be honest, from where we are, but it's still a terrific turn-up. Over 70,000 for this opening match. So Camperody with 3 goals. Beautiful play by Koutafidis. Bradley, big possession getter, kicks the ball inside 50. Good mark. Taken there by Blumfield. Been a very impressive last quarter by the Bombers. Blumfield to centre wing. Adam White in the front spot. Giulio over the top. Koutafidis takes them on. Scrambles a kick out. Well done, Franchina. Franchina towards Silvani. Held his ground pretty well. Fletcher was over the back. Jukovic in a bit of trouble. Got the handball. Wallace let it run away from him. Handball on the up was pretty good. Fletcher squeezes it out. Giulio, can he break free? Kick going in the wrong direction. Push forward was good by Fraser. To Heffernan. Clever little handball, actually. Masidi to Long. Long through the centre with the bounce. A second bounce. Handball was pretty good. To Lucas on his wrong side. In trouble. Handball. Joe leans back. Gives it all he's got. And it's going close. Marked by Lloyd as Hurd was having a bit of a wrestle. And it might be a free kick. It's going to go to Hurd, the free kick. So Lloyd will give it to his captain. Hamill and Hurd in a wrestle. Hurd deemed to be interfered with.
Gee, it didn't look like there was too much in it, and particularly when Lloyd's gone on to take the mark, why wouldn't you let it go?
Hurd's kicked the goal. Tell you what, John, I just hope it's not a precursor of what we're going to see all year, because it is. It's going to spoil a lot of good contests. It's been a terribly disappointing effort by the umpires.
Yeah, I must admit I agree with that, Bruce. And in relation to that one, I mean, this is 6-1, half a dozen the other. They're both grappling. They're both doing it on the goal line, and Matty Lloyd comes in to take the mark, as Jason said. So why intervene and penalise a player when there really hasn't been an instigator?
Well, we did see James Hurd kick the goal, and we did also see James Hurd with a wry smile on his face, as if he may have thought that he was a little lucky to get the free kick. It was a mark to Matthew Lloyd, so really it doesn't matter in the context. Wallace, left foot kick by Dean Wallace, pretty good actually. Finds Berbatov, left foot kick by that player. Long, maybe a little too fancy there, but gathered beautifully by Mercury. Able to run away from centre wing, straighten up and then kick in towards centre half forward. High leap there was from Lappin. At the back, Blumfield. He may get a goal. And it swings around beautifully, Justin Blumfield. Bombers have broken it wide apart. That's their 7th goal for the quarter.
And Robbo, I think it's fair to say that Mark Mercury has stamped his class on this game. About 4 or 5 instances that have resulted in goals, and he's been a major factor in the Essendon victory.
8 goals actually Essendon have kicked in this last term, so it's been a big quarter.
Yes, they've finished full of running, haven't they? I'll be disappointed, the Blues, after they were competitive for 3 quarters. They've got such a history, these two clubs. Koutafidis' handball to Ratton wide to Lappin. They keep a score, these two clubs, against one another. Lappin's kicked to centre half forward. Silvani, Simons, Camporelli. Can he kick his 4th? Cleverly done, going, bouncing. Might have got it. 4 goals.
First game of the year, 15 goals against them. 37 points the margin in favour of the Bombers. Koutafidis is getting a bit of the football in the latter moments of this game. Camporelli's hand pass. Thompson tries to get it back here to Franchina. Swings around and then kicks nicely. Well done. Just assessed that beautifully and has given Whitnell the opportunity to kick his 3rd goal. The 2 goals that he has kicked came from free kicks early in the match.
All of a sudden see 6 or 7 goals piled on against him in the last quarter.
Well, Whitnell the chance to kick his 3rd, and a disappointing result from a key forward. Kicks are behind, so 2 goals, 2 against his name. Been a big struggle. They only kicked a goal, 1 goal in the 2nd quarter and 1 goal in the 3rd quarter, Carlton, after kicking 3 in the first term. Fletcher to kick it back in. 6.5 minutes left. 36 points is the margin in favour of Essendon, and they've done it through a last quarter blitz, really, where they've kicked 8 goals, 1. Pretty accurate kicking too. Gather there by Thompson. No, it was White, actually, that couldn't break away. Kicked forward there by Lucas. Lloyd at the back. Bit of strength there against young Thompson. Gets around onto his left foot. Kicks in the direction there of full forward, but Hamill has come out and marked safely on his chest.
Started up forward in this match. Can be a swung from either end. Good kick. Koutafidis in the centre. Quickly on. Koutafidis very wide, making Silvani work. Bounce important here. Fletcher with him. Whitnell, ball close to the line. Almost out. Whitnell keeps it in cleverly. Left foot snap back's pretty good. Right to the goal square. Belted away at the back by Blumfield, and a behind. Most of the Bombers' victories of late have been narrow ones over Carlton. In fact, the last time they won by a big margin against the Blues was in that grand final in 1993, when they won by just over 7 goals. But since then, they've had some pretty tight contests when the Bombers have won. Masidi to Buick. Buick through the centre, kicks towards centre wing. Lalage had a defensive role early. Now going forward, kicks the ball inside 50. Fraser on his own, just drifted back into our space. He's had a good night, Fraser.
See, the heat has gone out of the game, hasn't it?
Blues are tired, aren't they? So are the Bombers, but they've got the incentive of being well on top and knowing that they're going to get the 4 points and probably a bit of percentage out of all of this. So Fraser, 2 first-half goals when things were tight and hard and difficult to get. This will test him. 50 metres out, long kick, and he's kicked it behind. So Mark Fraser, his father, Ken, who, like Dustin Fletcher's father, Ken, captain this famous club.
Another great captain there in the background in the coach's box, TD. He's come back from 6 years up at Wagga, and he's playing a role as an assistant coach to Kevin Sheedy this year with Robert Shaw. The kick in towards the middle of the ground has been marked by Allen, but push pay. Now, come on, John.
I didn't pay it.
Oh, how do you defend
Oh, has he
it?
given that a roost?
Lucas has kicked a goal.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, John. I know you didn't pay it, but oh, golly Moses.
Look, as we've said a number of times, Robbo, once you start paying those soft free kicks in marking contests and ruck contests, there is so much physical contact in those contests that you just can't be consistent. And here we see it again. Scotty Lucas, this is the replay of him roosting it. So that is a magnificent kick from where he was, and gold.
Can't believe their luck, can they? The kick was a beauty, but the free kick...
It was a beauty, but it was interesting to see. I think he just apologised to Matty Allen there just after the result. He felt it was an unjust free kick.
Well, I hope we get a change in interpretation really quickly, because we've seen so many contests tonight end and result in soft free kicks and goals scored. Heffernan missed by Manton. Lucas gets it back from Lloyd to Berbatov at centre half forward. Hooks the kick back. Buick, good mark. He's clever, Buick. He'll do something here.
He's got players everywhere, Bruce.
Yep. Beaumont back on the mark. Buick just waiting for time on to be called off so he can actually kick the footy.
Gee, there was some clever play in the middle of the ground by Mercedes too to just get the centre clearance.
So here's the angle that we see Buick with. He's a smart player, this fellow. He's had a terrific career. A few injuries late in his career, but he's been durable. Hits the post. Third time the post has been hit tonight. So Buick's kick 1-2. The Bombers are safely home here. Hurd sitting it out with Hardwick. They've won 4 best and fairest between them in the last few years. In fact, in the last 5. Christou, a little unto himself, and then belts it long.
And tries to kick it down the middle of the ground in the direction of Allen. Gathered there by Heffernan, knocked forward, but chopped off here by Lappin. Lappin may give the Blues a chance to kick a late goal. 3.5 minutes left. Kick forward here by Thompson in towards the full forward area. Chance here for Silvani, not able to gather the bouncing ball, and it goes over for a throw in the right forward pocket. That's a 43-point advantage to Essendon. It was tight. A point to Carlton's advantage at quarter time. 3 points to Essendon's advantage at half time. It was a 9-point advantage to Essendon at three-quarter time, and it has all happened for the Bombers in the last term. Wallace, Bradley's kick will be marked back there by Mercury. Quickly on by Mark Mercury, finds Lucas. Lucas, who kicked the last Essendon goal, in towards Simons. Simons through half-back. Elects on one bounce and then goes out wide. Running in support there was Lalage. It wasn't a bad kick either. He's going to give away 35 metres, but they'll retain possession. This is Lucas. Left foot kick into the middle of the ground, and the mark is taken by Caracella.
As Robbo said, the heat's gone out of it. Caracella to fall forward. Buick, long kick. Rice, ball going back. Beaumont concedes through for a behind. 109-65. It's been a huge last quarter for the Bombers. 9 goals in the last term. Wallace coming on, or was he about to go off? But he's come onto the ground, I think, with Hardwick and him a moment ago. So Christou's got to come back, does he?
Yeah, it'll be a bounce at the centre of the front kickoff line. We'll have it again in replay. He's supposed to kick the ball over the lines of the goal square rather than kick it to himself within the lines of the goal square. That's the instruction the umpires are given, so we'll see a bounce at the top of the square.
Allen back there with Lalage. Ball forced through for a behind.
Macca, just to clarify that, so the instruction given is he must kick it within the square to outside the square, not kick it to himself within the square.
Tries it again, successfully this time. And then goes to half-back. Does he get it far enough to Hamill? Heffernan reads it, just pokes one out. Gets it to Berbatov to full forward. Buick's got it, not quite. Ball comes to ground. Lucas back in board. Mercedes, can he get a handle on it? Under pressure. Goes back to Johnson, to Lucas, in trouble. Gets a long, hard handball away. Fraser tries to tap it down. Well done, Christou. Read it beautifully. Left foot, dragged down. Free kick coming back, is it, John?
Yeah, it'll come back because it was as he kicked the footy. So if it had been late, then it would have been paid downfield. But it was as he disposed of the ball, so the ball comes back.
Well, I think Christou can look forward to some better performances throughout season 1999. He's just getting maybe used to the tempo again. And the Blues have got the ball up into their left forward pocket. Blumfield, he kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. Justin Blumfield goes out wide where the mark is taken by Berbatov. Berbatov, who spent quite a time on the bench earlier in the game. And he's been on the ground and kicked a goal. Now looking to go long. It covers centre wing, and it's well marked down there by Manton, who's had a quiet game. Hamill started the game brilliantly into the middle of the ground. Thompson for Carlton goes towards half forward. Whitnell knocked to the front of the pack. Gathered.
Silvani, Camparelli's got a couple in the last term, but it has been the Bombers all the way in this final term. They've kicked 9 goals to 4, and they've got a big lead late in this match. Fraser pushing forward. McKay gets a little kick away. Ratton, terrific take on the up to White. White, bad handball. Christou's actually found some pretty good touch late in this match. Something they can take away from the game. Well done, Koutafidis has had some magic in this game. Back into Ratton. Ratton left foot to full forward. Siren goes. The Bombers have won the first game of the year. .9 winners. Terrific final term. They had a disappointment last year in the finals. They finished the year badly. And the final score here, the Bombers with a huge last term, they were able to manage 9 goals in the final term to 4. And after they led by 3 points at half-time and 9 points at three-quarter time, they were able to win by 39 points in the end, 16-14.
3 or 4 others, and that was probably the difference in the game. The big possession getters were on Carlton's side. Craig Bradley, I thought, he's really defying father time, showing him no respect. He's getting better with age. And Mark Fraser kicked a couple of early goals and probably picked up 25 odd possessions himself.